Hello everybody. This is again going to be a very short live stream. This is gonna be about like 30 minutes or so. This is a live special weather briefing for tonight, which is the night of September 25th, 2024. Again, this is based on the National Weather Service's uh, weather warnings for this evening. On weekends, I might do a morning and evening one. But for now, let's just do evening. So this is Wednesday. So we start off with, uh, we will, of course, have like a special report on we're just waiting for that to come in. Live cast of the special report for Hurricane Helene that I will be broadcasting in just a moment. But for now, let me pull up the first warning that we have here. So we talked about some extreme heat and like wildfire smoke has sparked a red flag warning for the National Weather Service Forecast offices in Rapid City, South Dakota. So that is just listed under a red flag warning, and then of course, let's see if we can get a little bit more information about this weather outlook. So this has portions of western South Dakota and northern upcoming. So it's basically just the same thing as I'm saying. Let's get a little bit more in depth here. We have a weather story and we have local radar to go along with this. So here is the South Dakota weather story. So, critical fire weather from wildfires that will be traveling through the area, mainly from wildfire smoke, will be continuing tomorrow, so the 27th. I will probably be, well, I will be broadcasting then. But tonight, it's just going to be a breezy 57 to 66 degrees. Thursday, low of 83 degrees, high of 98. Friday, 70, low of 78, high of 87. And Saturday is a low of 80 and a high of 92. Now let me just explain a little bit more of what this red flag warning is, excuse me. So this was released at 1:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whatever time zone South Dakota is in. But the National Weather Service main office is in Eastern Standard, so that's just what I'm using. First of all, what is a red flag warning? Well, a red flag warning has been issued for tomorrow, Thursday. So again, this will continue on tomorrow's broadcast. Uh, dry fuels combined with the following weather ingredients will lead to critical fire weather conditions, which is why they have released this red flag warning for tomorrow morning and afternoon. So this might be on tomorrow's broadcast, depending if they decide to continue it in the evening. But of course, that will be decided tomorrow. Um, on some of the critical points of this one, winds from the southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour becoming northwest, uh, 10 to 25 miles per hour during the afternoon, with gusts of 25 to 40 miles per hour during late morning and early afternoon hours. Another one is also relative humidities as low as 12%. And unseasonably warm temperatures in the upper 80s and 90s. Fall just started yesterday, so we are in a new season. Okay, so where is basically northeastern Wyoming into western South Dakota? When is 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So it might be that it might be after that time when I broadcast because I'm an Eastern Standard. But the confidence level for this warning is very high at this point. Uh, the action that the National Weather Service recommends is do not burn things outdoors, especially if you are a smoker. Uh, never throw cigarettes out on never throw cigarettes out of a vehicle, and do not drive over dry gas because that could easily start a fire. And don't be an ignition source. So just while this is happening, don't do anything that could be hazardous. If you think that it could possibly be hazardous, it probably is. Um, but yeah, that's just a look at the weather story for this one. Also, we have local radar coming from this. I don't think we're going to get much from this. Nope, it doesn't look like no rain, no precipitation, just straight wildfire, extremely hot weather. Um, and that is it for this one. The next one. Okay. So the next one is for Glasgow, Montana. I do not know if we've covered this part of Montana on yesterday's broadcast. We might have, but uh, anyway. Fairly windy conditions for tomorrow. We'll get more information on what warnings are put out when and why. But windy conditions are expected for tomorrow around that area. Prominent predominant direction is west northwest. So there's a lake wind advisory until 9 p.m. on Thursday. Excuse me, on Thursday. So this warning will continue throughout the day tomorrow. But we also have, of course, kind of the red flag warnings coming from the South Dakota area. Of course, wildfires could spread at any time. You need to know when that happens. There is also a high wind warning and lake wind advisories, including wind advisories and a special weather statement, which in detail. So Doppler was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from 43 miles of east of Eureka to 24 miles of northeast of West Glacier. Movement was northeast at 55 miles per hour. So if it doesn't seem like a severe or even a thunderstorm watch is out, but please be aware that one might be assigned in the next day or so. So that's basically it for that one. That was a rather quick one, so let me grab the next one. Okay, so we do have some new states that are coming up in this watch tonight. Well, not for the hurricane, but for just general warnings and watches and stuff. So anyways, we have a windy Wednesday over at Spokane, Washington. So this afternoon and evening. So this impacts blowing dust, rapid fire spread, and hazardous boating conditions. This was issued at 6:29 this morning. So it's pretty much been lasting all day now. There is also a blowing dust advisory today from 6 p.m. to about 3 hours from now, just shy of 3 hours. Ends at 11. Elevated fire is also a concern for today. Winds are about 30 to 45 miles per hour in gusts. Dry conditions uh, definitely have 25 to 35% relative humidity, which is still pretty decent for possible wildfire conditions. These conditions may result in a rapid spread of any new or existing fires. So again, just as I said earlier, please don't be an ignition source. Don't do anything that might start a fire. Don't do anything stupid. If you think that it's going to start a fire or you think that it may lead to concerns, you probably shouldn't do it. Um, just because of this. Okay, and here's a little bit of the weather outlook just for the summer day forecast. You can just take a look at the plans for that. Okay, now for the warnings and oh dear God. Okay, I did not realize that this was a severe thunderstorm warning scenario. So there is also a severe weather statement, which we will get to in just a moment. We also have a blowing dust advisory, but we are going to go to a special report.
This is an NBC News special report.
Good day, everyone. We are simulcasting on all of my social media platforms, so welcome in. We have just interrupted programming. I was originally streaming live here on YouTube about a severe thunderstorm warning happening in Glasgow, Washington. I'm sorry, Spokane, Washington. Glasgow, Montana was the last thing that we looked at. I am losing my mind tonight. But there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Sandpoint, about the tip of Bowner's Fury, and the other side of Cordialena. So there is a severe weather statement that I will read a bit to you now. This was released about just shy of about 3 hours ago, 2 to 3 hours. A severe thunderstorm was located near Pondray, or 8 miles north of Sandpoint, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. So that's the main reason why they released this. And if it gets worse, then of course they'll increase the warning. Again, I'm just doing this for now. I'm not staying up all night and tracking it for you. This is just one time tonight. This is just the immediate warnings that I have for you. Now, again, on the weekends, I will do a morning and evening broadcast to make the situations a little bit easier for you. But yeah, we have no in-depth. Just as I was telling to the YouTube viewers as they were watching, because I didn't realize that it was a severe thunderstorm warning. I just thought it was something else. So, just in general for the other viewers that we broke into programming with, and I do apologize, but it's for safety reasons. It mainly is a windy Wednesday over there this afternoon and evening. This impacts blowing dust, rapid fire spread, and hazardous boating. There is a blowing dust advisory. Wednesday started at about 2 p.m. today and ends at about 11 p.m. Eastern or Mountain Standard Time, depending on where you are located. Now, there are definitely elevated fire concerns for tonight. Again, please don't try to uh, do, please don't try to start a fire. If you are if you go on smoke breaks, if you have an ashtray, please use that other than the like the ground, because even one spark could lead to something very hazardous. So please try to avoid anything dangerous that could lead to fires if you do not think it is worth, if you do something and you think that it's not worth doing, then it's probably not worth doing. So just for the weather outlook, here is the 7-day forecast before we end the special report. Okay, and with that, this has been a special report. Okay. Well, thank you for tuning into that very important special report. The only other thing before we move on to another special report about the reports that have mainly been affected by Hurricane Helene. This is something that we reported on last night, but I just want to emphasize this again. The excessive heat warning in Phoenix and in surrounding areas is still active. Um, so, yeah. So it's just an excessive heat warning with temperatures highs of 105 to 118 degrees. This is the outlook. This is the temperature forecast for the high temperatures. And just to let you know, just a safety briefing. Please stay indoors during this time if you are in Phoenix or any of the surrounding areas. I know Flagstaff is one of them. So if you're in Phoenix or any of the other surrounding areas, please stay indoors during heat waves. Stay indoors in the air conditioning whenever possible. Uh, each like time during the like winter or even the spring, please have your air conditioners checked uh, to make sure they are working correctly, so that if they are needed during this time, they won't break down or suffer a like breaking of some sort, so that you can just stay cool. Always remember to remain hydrated by drinking water and avoiding alcohol, because hot weather can increase dehydration. And if it's hot in your home or hot outside, then you're most likely going to get dehydrated more than you think. So please go about 2 times your normal drinkage of water every day for the remainder of this warning. Also, check on those most vulnerable to heat, including children if you have them, and the elderly, so your parents or any other people that you may know. And if you must go outdoors, go early or late in the day. That's when the coolest should occur. And please dress in light colored clothing. Why that is that black colored clothing reflects the light even more than it should. Yeah, like reflects or attracts. Um, yeah. But while white clothing kind of blocks it and sends it the other way. So again, please try and stay indoors most of the time. So yeah, that's all I have for you in the normal special reports. Well, in the normal reports. Now, oh, actually, I do have one more for you. Um, Keep in mind that this may be affected by Hurricane Helene by expected late week. But there is a hazardous weather outlook most likely because of Hurricane Helene. Let me see if there's any more before we go to special reporting about Hurricane Helene. Let's see here. Okay. The only other one that I have for you mainly is the Philadelphia Mount Holly ones that we explained yesterday, which was, of course, affected mostly by Hurricane Helene, but that is looks like that is everything normally. So now we will, of course, go to a um, special report.
This is an NBC News special report.
Good day, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again. We have just been shut off from simulcasting a few minutes ago, and now we're back on to, of course, talk about the main subject of uh, tonight's recording, which is Hurricane Helene's path. So again, it's mainly in the Tallahassee area. It is kind of moved around from that, and it's also trying to get between like the Gulf Coast of Florida. You can see on the radar and the map that it's constantly spreading every minute that you are. So please follow hurricane safety precautions. So we have the mainly most affected would be all the way from Florida to Georgia. So Florida to Georgia. Again, there are flash flood warnings, hurricane warnings, tropical storm warnings, flood warnings, hurricane local statement, flood advisory, wind advisory, flood watch, high wind watch as well. So again, and again, mainly for the ones on the Gulf. For the synopsis, Hurricane Helene is spreading um, down in the Florida area. Again, this is mainly through Tallahassee. This is expected to Hurricane Helene is expected to be a level 3 hurricane in just a few days here. So please be aware of that, and please take any safety precautions possible. But again, it's mainly in the Tallahassee area. Um, of course, this is going to be a lot to read off, but we have a flood warning for some areas. We have storm surges, which are not normal, which are not normal in the situation. We also have a hurricane warning. Again, I just told you about that. A special marine warning. We'll get into that in just a few moments. High surf warning. Hurricane local statement. Of course, you can probably imagine what that is. A coastal flood advisory, small craft, just in case if we do get any debris, just in case if they do get any debris from the hurricane. uh, as it goes through. Coastal flood advisories, wind advisories. We also have statements, flood watches, and everything in between. Now, let me get into this. A special. Let me get into this special marine statement before we end this. Um, so this is the National Weather Service in Tallahassee, Florida. This was reported on just shy of 30 minutes ago. So coastal waters from Ocklawney River to Appalachia, Florida, out to 20 north miles, until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in about 2 hours, that will kind of surpass. At least that's what we believe at this moment, or that's what we have. At 8:24, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing waterspouts was located over St. George Island, uh, moving northwest at 10 knots. So, yeah, so this is very severe. So, again, please take your hurricane precautions or just be ready whenever severe weather may strike. That is it for tonight. Uh, but before we go, we just want to thank you for watching the special report. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching tonight's broadcast. Uh, Again, I will be back tomorrow. As we get near into the weekend, of course, our main story of the night will be Hurricane Helene every time. But for now, this is AJ Baker signing off from the studios.